the Titans, because I tell you, Hafiz has something that Hidayat wants. And do you know what that is? It's claim to the All England Championship trophy. Taufik has tried and failed on many occasions, but in 2003, Mohammed Hafiz Hashim took the All England title. He also was Commonwealth Games champion in 2002, and he has had his purple patch between 2002 and 2006. Since then, he's had a lot more problems. Taufik has been world champion. He has also, for the first time, linked up the World Championship with the Olympic Championship as well. He was Olympic champion in 2004 in Athens, and he was world champion in Anaheim the year later in 2005. Girish Nadu is leading them out, and he will be the umpire for this one. And you can see Mohammed Hafiz is a very tall boy, isn't he? Just look at the difference in height. Hafiz Hashim is actually 6 feet 2 inches, 188. 188. He's a really big boy. And these gladiators of the court being led out, I tell you, are going to give us a wonderful treat. Now, I told you, Hafiz has that accolade of All England champion. Taufik thought he was going to have a chance this year, just last month. In fact, earlier this month. And he failed at the final hurdle. He had a victory over Garda, but couldn't go any further than that. Here we go, Hafiz Hashim, a most, frustrating player for a coach to watch, because he has got absolutely stunning shots, and he moves as if he feels Mr. Cool. He plays a game that is so easy. He doesn't want to be rushed. He's smooth, he likes to anticipate, and he likes to play extraordinary shots. Taufik Hidayat is a legend. I think he goes with the legends of all time. 6-time Indonesian champion, as well as world and Olympic champion. They love him wherever he goes, not only because he is a champion, but because of the way in which he plays this wonderful game. He is so good and natural. He'll be the first to admit that he doesn't necessarily enjoy the training regimes, but he's something special on court, I tell you. That was a great victory for Hafiz against Chen Long in the semi-final. It was a brilliant victory. It was an extraordinary second game where he went into a massive lead, took 9 points in a row, and then when we thought the whole match was over, Chen Long came back with another 9-point sequence, and he eventually took it 21-19 to force it into a third. But what surprised me in that third was that Hafiz Hashim had the extraordinary capability and concentration to keep his head down, not worry about the problems of the second game, and went ahead to win it 21-15 brilliantly. He accounted for Tejono of Indonesia 21-16 and again another 3. And in fact, his last 4 matches have been going to 3 gamers, so it's been an extraordinary road to the final for Hafiz. He has a real opportunity to put his name back in the lights again, and I know all of you in Malaysia will be hoping he does that. Now, the only boy that Taufik had any problems with, real problems, was Kwan in the quarterfinals. Look at that, 21-19 in the third. But he also had that Yunhu problem at 21-19 in the third as well. So you can tell that he was a little bit off colour coming up to the semi-final, but look at that score in the semis. You know, Taufik is a mood player. If he's in the mood, he is absolutely extraordinary. There's Mr. Girish Nadu, the umpire, and I travel with him all over the world as well. An extraordinary talent, a great man. Lovely to see him on show at one of the great exhibition matches of the calendar. This is going to be something special, I tell you. But Taufik, as I said, a mood player. Yesterday he was absolutely on form, and I went down to talk with him just before he went on court, and he said that he was feeling good, and I said, well, watch out. Don't believe the graphic there. I've had to say it a few times. I'm not Dinesh, I'm John Burgess. One or two of you might recognise me. Hafiz,
ladies and gentlemen,
he is going to be Mr. Cool. He looks the same now as he will do at the end of the match, I can tell you.
Taufik,
A few
Hidayat,
beads of sweat, but other than that, he will be Mr. Control. Taufik, he was complimented on his performance in the semi-finals, and he says, you've seen nothing yet. That's his quote in the paper today. So let's look forward to this. Hafiz against Taufik, who will serve. Way out of court.
Service over. 1-love.
Hafiz is the real deal when he's got his mind to it. That's out as well. Taufik, I mean, I know the number of times I've commentated on his matches, and the number of times I've said he normally gives away the first game. He's just warming up to it. I wonder whether it's going to happen here. The magical thing about live sport, it's a great theatre. Look at that for a great net shot, and he will kill this. No, he doesn't need to. Oh, it was called in. 3-love. Well,
3-love.
An error of judgment, and again the swirling breeze has done the job for the shuttle and for Hafiz. The duck is broken.
Service over.
Cricket terminology, just to appeal all my Indian friends. Appease under my Indian friends. 1-3. Bye-bye. What set up that powerful cross-court smash was the extraordinary net shot. You think it's an accident or a bit of luck that they touch the net as the shuttle tips over. Believe me, it's not. I've seen it done so many times, and Taufik is an absolute expert at touching the net as it goes over. 2-3. It's 4-2.
Service over. 4-2.
Cat and mouse at the moment.
Service over.
There's not a great deal to shout and scream about, but it's all testing. Feeling what's happening with the swirling wind. Just seeing what kind of mood the opposition is in. The cross court again does the job. It's 4-all. You know, it takes an extraordinary amount of skill to perform that kind of shot with accuracy. That's his favourite, actually, in terms of around the world. He missed it on his backhand, but I tell you, when we see the backhand smash,
5-4.
The backhand smash has been recorded over 200 kilometres an hour from Taufik, and it's certainly as big as a lot of people's forehands. It's got amazing ability to whack that backhand. It's 5-all. It's a great start for Hafiz as well. It's gone long, and once more
6-5.
The drift around here is very, very difficult to pick. Just watch the way Hafiz moves, and that's great net play, both players, and that's out of court to finish. But Hidayat now goes to 7-5. But as a real lesson for anticipation of beautiful movement, just watch Hafiz move around the court. He's extraordinary. Economic is the word to describe it. There's a little bit more bounce and a little bit more showmanship in Taufik's movement around the court. And his racket work is unbelievable. Hafiz from Kota Baru in Kelantan province, up in Kelantan state, in the northeast of Malaysia. Now remember, in 1973, going all that way up, and four ferry rides I had to take in order to get that far up on my holidays. But most gorgeous part of Malaysia, fantastic space. And you can tell, if they're all as cool as he is in that part of the world, they've got every reason for it, because they live in a beautiful place. Clever, clever, clever. Absolutely pinpoint accuracy. Both players trying to impress with their style of play here, but it's Taufik that has the 4-point advantage. It's in. They go to the break. It's 11-6. Taufik hasn't done anything spectacular, but all he's done is to play the lines better than his opponent Hafiz today. Wow, it really is a fascinating matchup here. And once more, we've got the Malaysian singles coach Tay Siobok trying to encourage Hafiz. And I must say, as we've got our rerun here at the break, I'm joined in my commentary position high up here in the Balayogi Indoor Stadium with a great thrill. I've got with me, I'm delighted to say, an All-England champion. It's not often I say that, but it's great to welcome one of the great legends of Indian badminton. Pullela Gopichan is with me at the moment, and I tell you, he knows what it takes at the highest level to impress. So there's no doubt at all that we'll be getting the inside track, I'm sure, on how he thinks this match is going, and in general we'll talk a little bit later after the conclusion of this particular game about Indian badminton and what he's doing at his academy. This is a fantastic opportunity for me, but I'll just continue with the commentary of the match at the moment. It's 13-6, Taufik in absolutely sparkling form, but I tell you, he's just missed that backhand, which is an unusual occurrence. Well, I've given you a really good build-up here, I must say, Pullela, but what do you reckon to this match here, and obviously the way in which it's panning out at the moment? Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. And well, the way I look at it, yes, Taufik seems to be in command at the moment. He's been playing some spectacular badminton here in Hyderabad. I think, yeah, the key here is to keep the attack. I think whoever gets to keep the attack, I think will be scoring the points, and that's what's the key to the whole match would lie in.
Why do you think that with all the record, the fantastic history and heritage of Taufik, he's never managed to achieve what you've achieved?
Well, I think, yeah, I would put it at luck, because sometimes you really want something and it doesn't happen. But he's been a spectacular player, because he's won the World Championships, the Olympics, and yes, he missed out on the All England. But every time he goes there, there's pressure on him. And after the first few times, he's not won it, and suddenly there's so much more pressure. Each time he goes, it becomes more and more difficult.
Pullela Gopichan won that All-England title by defeating Chen Hong of China in the final, and I can tell you what, that was not only a special moment in sporting history for badminton. India celebrated and continue to celebrate, because they've also opened an academy here. We'll talk about that when we get through this game. Let's concentrate now on this one with Hidayat at 15-10 in the first, and just have a look at the strategy being employed by these two players. They are really very, very great crafty players, and wonderful shot makers on their day. It's 11-15. Now what Hafiz has got to do right here, as you said, to keep on the attack, but that's easier said than done, because that kind of jump smash and the ability, and look at that, from halfway, he knew that was going long. Great judgment there from Taufik.
Well, I think that's amazing, because that's one of the beauties of Taufik Hidayat, because that he's able to read shuttles and anticipate them so quickly. And if you look at it, for me, I think the key is the net, because whoever holds the net doesn't lift too many shuttles will be in an advantage point. And yeah,
that was in this time. Good play for 12-16. What about the swirl, the drift here, Pulela?
Well, I think coming into Hyderabad as it's above the sea level, typically the shuttle travels faster. So normally under these conditions we have the shuttles which are a little more quicker than usual,
16.
because the air is thinner here. So you have shuttles which are a little more quicker, which makes the whole atmosphere kind of more conducive for people who are able to keep the shuttle down.
But inside this particular hall, this indoor stadium, the Baladyogi's stadium, how is it affecting the play?
Well, I think there is drift, definitely in a big stadium with a lot of crowd. The air moves in a certain direction, and that affects the shuttlecock, which starts moving away. So that's the tough one here. But for me, I would say Taufik is in a position or in the court which is a little more advantaged than where Hafiz is in. So I think even if Hafiz loses this game, I think he shouldn't be too disappointed, because I think the next game he has definitely got a chance.
But I think the point here, thank you for all those points you've raised, the point here is that for these players to come at this stage to be participating in the Onyx Sunrise Indian Open is a huge advantage to them, I would have thought. A lot of the European players haven't come, the Chinese players haven't come, but they will all be here for the World Championships, and it's got to be an advantage for people like Hafiz and for Taufik to be able to see a whole week of action here.
Well, definitely, I would say, because it's not very easy to play under the drift. It's been a lot of places around the world. A lot of players would have a problem, and this kind of drift and conditions, it's good to be prepared and have played before such an event like the World Championships.
Okay, it's getting tight here at the end of the first game. It's 16-18. Hafiz putting up a big show, but then suddenly, when you think there's a problem, Taufik has a way of just putting up something that is special.
19.
The great thing is, even though he's in mid-air with that jump smash, you don't know whether it's going to go left or right of you. You don't know until it's already struck the ground which side. The deception is amazing. It's in the eyes, it's in the wrists, it's in the body language. You don't know how to play it. It's in. Oh, what a lift. That's a beautiful lift.
20.
Look at that. Hafiz is 6'2". He should have played it. He knows that. Taufik, game point. First game in this title matchup. And his backhand, he's missed 3 of those this game. It's so unusual. I mean, it's his talisman. It's what we think of Taufik. When we say Taufik, we say backhand, don't we? Extraordinary, he's missed those. And a big hit there from deep from Hafiz. Just clawing himself back into some hope at 18-20. Taufik has only 1 point to get. Too good. The battle at the net. He didn't need any more than that. 21-18.
First game won by
Hafiz
Hidayat.
did his best there. In fact, was very competitive. But Taufik's experience was the one that really counted and mattered. And I tell you what, you wouldn't bet against him taking the title as well. He's come a long way for this, and I'm sure that he will be very happy with what how he's performed so far. He said he was going to up the tempo, and Hafiz is working hard, but it ain't good enough at the moment. Right, tell me, whilst you're here, and I'll take advantage of your time, tell me about the academy. That's very exciting, isn't it?
Well, we started coaching after the All England around 2005, and we've got a few players come up, and most prominent would be somebody that the likes of Saina Nehwal, Guru Saidat, Kashyap. There have been quite a few players on the junior circuit at the Indian level who have started to perform well internationally as well of late. So, yeah, we've got a few players and looking to groom more players for the future.
I've seen your name proudly above that building. Every time you come to work, you must think, oh my goodness, that's me.
Second game.
Well, it's a huge responsibility, I would say. Yes, it gives a lot of pleasure to be doing what I'm doing. But yes, it's a huge responsibility, and it comes up with a lot of work which you need to do over the years.
So we wish you well with the academy. It's a wonderful initiative, and I know the world of badminton will benefit from all your hard work. We're in the second game. It's Taufik working hard to maintain his position. But Hafiz certainly hasn't given this away. Hafiz has never beaten Taufik. I think on 6 occasions, if I'm not wrong, they have met in official tournaments, and Hafiz has never managed to upstage him. That was long.
Service over.
Again,
1-2.
you suggested that there might be an opportunity for Hafiz this time to take advantage of the drift. Oh, that's the famous one. It's gone out. But I tell you what, we all loved it. Doesn't matter whether it was in or out. It was a flash. It's 1-3. How does he do that backhand smash?
Well, I think it's not very easy for people who would see it. I would say just see, enjoy it, but don't try it.
Yeah, that's what they put on these Crazy Danger shows, isn't it?
Service over.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, I would say
don't try this at the court. Oh dear. Well, you might try it. You won't succeed, that's for sure. There's something special. I think his body must be turned inside out at some stage. 200 kilometres an hour, that backhand smash has been clocked at. Quite extraordinary. Taufik Hidayat is still behind, but now only by 1 point. And now he's levelled things in the second.
4-all.
You know, I'm a bit of a hero worshipper myself, Govachan. I had the great privilege of being at Taufik's birthday party in Beijing at the Olympics when Andrew Kam of KLRC hosted him at the Grand Hyatt. It was such a thrill. There were only 8 of us there. It was just a thrill to be photographed with him and having him in an environment where we didn't have to talk badminton and where he could relax and tell me a little bit about his life and all those things. He's a lovely, lovely chap, I must say. Great privilege. And I keep all those fantastic photographs for my grandchildren. I put them on the wall, some of them. I've got a photograph with Pele, believe it or not, as well. So, you know, I'm as much of a hero worshipper as any fan.
Well, I think he's an amazing human being as well. I think it's a great guy for the sport. He has his own mind about things, and yes, he's an artist. He is on court. He's like a super craftsman. He can play a lot of strokes. Amazing amount of talent. I think he's one of the greatest movers as well on court. Great badminton brain. I think in all a great role model, I would say, or a inspiration to have for a lot of young people. Wow.
This is a fantastic rally. It's a brilliant rally. Both players putting on a wonderful exhibition here. Hafiz, you beauty. It may have gone wide, but I can tell you it's easy for us up here to say it may have gone wide. Taufik looked back to see whether or not there was a confirmation that it might have been, but whatever, it was a fabulous rally. Lots of movement to the net, also to the baseline, power play as well. Great rally. Hafiz Hashim, 5-7. It's well wide. Well, Around the world they call football the beautiful game, but I tell you what, the more and more I see of this at the highest level, you take a lot of beating. This is a beautiful game too. Especially when you have artists like this on show. Look at that! Look at that! And that! It's in, isn't it? Yes! Ha-ha! Great stuff! What a pickup! It was dead! Hafiz didn't have the nerve to take it. He should have. It's 9-5. You just can't believe how these cool players can reach and stretch and make it without appearing... Ah, there you see, great shot. Without appearing to break sweat. Anticipation, but look at that. Now, just talk us through, how did he execute that shot?
Well, I think Taufik was not yet returned back to his position. Hafiz had a look at that, and then he just hurried the stroke. That was the key to that.
But it was a sort of half a drive, half a drop, wasn't it? He took the pace off it.
Yeah, he took the pace off it. It's not that because basically when you really want to hit hard, you have to get your body behind the shuttle and then put 100% in there, but then your opponent knows that you're going for the smash. But these are the times when you just hurry up and with very little preparation, you hit it and this catches the opponent in a kind of a relaxed position.
Those of you who are wondering who I'm talking to, it's Pullela Gopachan, the former All-England champion, who is in the chair with me, giving me inside story, inside track on this fantastic game. Hafiz is fighting back, but just at 9-all, he's got a chance. That is an early play. It was a great play. He takes the lead now for the first time, and that was a wonderful disguise as well. Great shot.
Not very often do you see Taufik hit those backhands which are soft, because most of the times when Taufik is hitting, there's a punch in most of the strokes. There's a power which is packed behind each of his strokes, and that's where his strength is. Wow. That's amazing.
He got his body behind that one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, he did.
So he's obviously listening to Gopachan. He said, don't play the full power pack jump smash unless you've got your body right there and all the action goes through the racket head. That's what happened there for 10-all. Bye-bye. Well, in truth, that was a really poor shot from Taufik, and in fact he knew that because he didn't make the effort to even go and try and save it. Hafiz goes into the break. The interval is 11-10 and he's still there. Come on, you've got to shout a bit louder in Kuala Lumpur. Let's hear you. It's only just across the water. A few thousand miles.
Hafiz's strength remains his kind of movement. Yes, he needs probably to get a little more fit, a little more sleeker, because that's how he was when he was playing at his best. He needs to get down, lose a few pounds, and he has, I believe, he has at least another 4 to 5 years of great badminton with him.
Well, I know he's well admired here in India. His style of play is extraordinary. His physique, as you mentioned, I mean, at 6 feet 2 inches, 188, he's a big boy. He can stretch, he can have economy of movement, but with that economy he also needs to put in the work as well to get fit.
Well, I think if some of the earlier matches he just ran through opponents, in the sense they just didn't know what was happening, and that's the beauty of somebody like Hafiz. He's got the strokes, he's got the movement, he's got the big physique behind them, so it's quite intimidating because he hits really hard. So, but if he really wants to beat the likes of Taufik, Hidayat and the Lindans and Chongweis, I think he just needs to be maybe another 25% fitter and back to his lean, mean self. And I'm sure he still has a lot of game in him, because he still has a lot of artistry. Not many players in the world still I would rank as high as Hafiz Hashim in the kind of stroke play and the effortless movement he does on the court.
Very complimentary words there from Bolela Gobichan about Hafiz Hashim. And he went for the other big one, closing the racket face a little bit. It didn't happen. It's 13-12 to Malaysia. Of course, the Malaysian-Indonesian challenge is always going to bring something special. This time he does make the jump shot, and once more he wrong puts Hafiz with an extraordinary, powerful play. 13-all. You must have played down in the Istora Senayan a few times, huh? Over the years. What an atmosphere down there.
Amazing, I would say. I think all of the stadiums, personally I like the Stadium Nagara. I thought that was phenomenal, and then when we moved out, yes, Senayan is a great venue, but just basically the atmosphere in countries like Malaysia, Indonesia and few of the places in China. I think nothing can beat the atmosphere here.
Well, it's certainly a big, big match-up. Country pride at stake. And of course, Taufik is no longer attached to the PBSI, so he's a freelancer, so to speak. And he's free to choose where he goes, who sponsors him. And in a way, you never know, it might release the bird to fly higher. Who knows? The bird that plays with birds. 14-all at the moment in the second. To be serious there, the Badminton Association. It's hard job administering, you know. 14-all. Good to hear that Gobichan gets my jokes. The rest of you at home will be struggling, I know, but there you go. Hafiz still attacking at the net. 15-14 in the second. Taufik wants this, I can tell you. He absolutely, desperately wants this title. Hafiz, unruffled, Mr. Cool from Kelantan. Got the lead in the second, and just as Gobichan suggested, when he comes to this end, it's a little bit easier to control. Right on cue, commentators curse, he puts it long.
Well, I think this is where Taufik starts to play well, the end game, and this is where he starts moving, pushing the pace up a little bit. So let's see if he can get the Taufik magic on.
I think it's fair to say he would like to finish this in two. He won't want to go to a third, although really he's had so much experience over his life, he won't be fazed by it. In the lead up, Hafiz has had already 4 3-game matches. Taufik, on the other hand, he's had 2. So whatever it takes, they'll be there. Quick eye, quick hands, flat trajectory. 17-all. And again, he doesn't quite control that lift. Maybe tightened up a little bit. It wasn't that far out. 18-17, Taufik, 3 points in a row. Great work at the net, Hafiz. And that's gone again. Oh dear. Well, what a turnaround. 15-17, right on cue. Gobichan reads it well and says Taufik will up the pace. It's 19-17. He's on his way to the title if he keeps this intensity going. It's in. No, just long. Ooh, I thought he was going to leave it for the wide shot. But, it was tight but long. 18-19.
Both being very experienced players, both of them are really holding back a little bit now. I think whoever gets to the net and tries to knock off, yeah, that's exactly the
Great stuff. You were absolutely right. Absolutely on the button. Got to the net early, played it early, and played it down for a point to 19 all. This is exciting stuff. Oh, that high service was no good. Taufik pounced on it like a salmon. Absolutely brilliantly out of the water and high. He's got match point here in Hyderabad. Taufik Hidayat of Indonesia, match point. That's it! A brilliant effort by Hafiz Hashim, but ultimately the quality, the intensity, the experience of Taufik Hidayat wins through, and he raises his hand to appreciate the crowd as well. They love to support him. He is the baby assassin, isn't it? He's got that wonderful, charming baby face, but watch out. That's where the beautiful thing ends, because on court he loves to assassinate anyone that opposes him. We've now got an interview with him in just a couple of moments. We've here got what he's got to say. He can speak a little English.
We have with us the men's singles winner Taufik Hidayat, who's won in straight games, and former Asian world and Olympic champion. Taufik, you seem to have made a habit of defeating Hashim. You'd won 6 consecutive games against him before, and this is 7th time. Is this any sweeter now?
Yeah, but it's not a good game because I have problem with the shuttlecock. It's very fast. So, but thanks God I can win today. It's the first title in this year in India Open. So I'm very happy.
Well, of course you won the India Open 2009. You were earlier concerned about the flight of the shuttle. Was that a concern for you in the pre-quarters? Is that something adjusted to in the semi-finals and the finals?
Sorry?
Did you adjust to the flight of the shuttle in the semi-finals and the finals that helped you win?
Yeah, it's the semi-final and the finals I have been. So I don't know how to say it. I'm very happy with the long time I waiting for the title.
How do you find India now that you're here and you've been crowned the India Open 2009 men's singles champion?
Sorry?
How do you feel now that you've been crowned the men's singles champion?
Yeah, it's the good crowded, so I'm happy I play in India. So just I want to thanks to the supporter in India, so many people. So I hope the India player also coming up for the badminton. So I'm happy in India and then the champion this year.
Is playing in India any different from, say, playing overseas? You've been the Asian, world and the Olympic champion.
Sorry?
Is playing in India any different?
Yeah, it's different. I think it's different. It's the first time second time coming to India. The first time in the qualifying is the Thomas Cup. So it's first time for the Super Series, the individual. So in the first time I champion in India.
Thank you, Taufik, and congratulations once again being crowned the men's singles champion in this India Open 2009. And a big hand to Taufik Hidayat of Indonesia.
Well, Taufik